What else? Man United are still shit. Spurs are still shit. Liverpool are going to bottle the league. I'm kidding. That might not happen. Not with Arsenal being the ones chasing them anyway. What's going on, people? Welcome back to League M for another video. This is another episode of Blues Unfiltered, a little corner where I talk about just everything, really, anything and everything regarding what's going on around Chelsea or the world of football in general. And there's quite a number of things to talk about, which I'm going to go through them briefly, give my opinion briefly, and without wasting any time, let's get into it. Few things happened over the international break. Thank God that's over. One thing, Bafana, my national team, being close to qualifying for the World Cup. That's a story for another day, though. Shout out to Hugo Bruce for changing the lives of South Africans. You know, Siyabonga yempela Grootman. Ay, you're doing your thing. But I really want to touch on a couple of things that had happened at the club over the international break. The first thing being Chelsea finalizing the signings of two young Portuguese talents in Geovany Quenda and Dário Essugo. 17 and 20 years of age respectively. One is to join this coming summer and the others to join the following summer in 2026. These two are two of the most highly rated talents whom both are projected to go straight to the top. Chelsea signed them. It's fair to note that as much as these are very exciting signings, you know, everyone is really raving about them. Everyone is really positive about these two guys. It's very important to note that they are still young players and will need time to develop. The good thing is that they're already playing first team football. Both are sporting players, but Essugo is playing his football right now at Las Palmas in Spain, and Quenda playing for first team for Sporting Lisbon. Both played a lot of minutes this season. You know, when it comes to development, minutes are everything. Chelsea signing these two players on a random Tuesday is essentially just them doubling down on the model. The model is not going to change. They are going to continue signing young players, and this is essentially just a not really. I have no problem with us signing these young players as long as there's a plan. Either the plan is to flip them for profit one day, or they do have futures at the club. We honestly just need to balance if we want to be competitive in the now. We're still a few signings short of being outright competitive, like competing for the league and such, and a couple of quality experienced players away from that as well. Looking at the money that we paid for these two in particular, you know, it's fair to assume that they do have a future at this club, but we'll see when that happens. And the other thing that came up in the international break was the stadium topic. I don't know if the movement regarding the plans for the stadium, whether to relocate or to just renovate Stamford Bridge, I don't know if that is still in motion. I don't know if there's no motion because there hasn't been a decision. Todd Bowley has spoken out about this matter, and he wants to move to a different location, build a new stadium in Earls Court, with the space allowing us to build a 60,000 plus capacity stadium. As redeveloping Stamford Bridge won't get us close to that capacity due to the limited space. The drawback with that is that we might still need to move or build again after some time. We might have to move anyways. So from a financial standpoint, that doesn't really make sense. So logically, the best move here is to move to a much bigger space where we can build a much bigger stadium with a much bigger capacity. From a financial standpoint, that makes more sense. As a fan who does not live in England, who dreams of visiting Stamford Bridge one day, it's a bit I do have mixed feelings about it because that has been a dream of mine ever since I became a Chelsea fan, and to see that by the time I even get there, it might not even be at Stamford Bridge. It's a bit disheartening. It's a bit, it leaves a sour feeling. But it can still happen. It can still happen if the decision is taken that we move to Earl's Court while the stadium is being built. We'll still be playing our games at Stamford Bridge. So, we think about things from a financial standpoint. You can see how the club will benefit greatly from building a multi-purpose, large capacity stadium. From a sentimental point of view, I understand why the match-going fans would feel a way about it because of the memories and the moments that were had and the overall atmosphere, just the feel of being at the bridge. As much as it wasn't really a large capacity stadium, I always thought it was a bit more intimate, more grounded, and it was noisy still. You have the gate smacking whenever the Chelsea players scored, and there's just a lot that we're going to miss about the bridge. But I feel that this was a long time coming. This was going to happen at one point or another. I think we'll make memories here at the new stadium as well. So we'll see when that happens. Now, most recent news on the training pitch. Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke are all back in team training. But that news was overshadowed by the fact that some first team players lost 3-0 to the Chelsea under 18s. Or was it the under 21s? The Chelsea youth team. Maresca left fuming with the team, cancelled their scheduled day off, as he should, because you're not supposed to lose a scrimmage to the youth team as the first team. My take on this is it was just perfect to release that article when they did, wasn't it? I think it was just to stir some shit. I honestly think it was just to stir the pot. But I do not want to just sweep it under the carpet and write it off as a non-story, because obviously there is something there. What happened? 3-0 to the Pekinese. How were they playing? What was the attitude? Why was Maresca fuming with the players? There's a lot of questions to be asked of the manager and the players for producing that kind of performance. But we cannot speak on what we did not see. Only the players know. Only the coach knows. Sure, we'll hear about it in their press conference. We'll hear the coach's thoughts. Then hopefully, if the question is asked, which I think it is going to be asked. But honest, I do not want to read too much into it. We'll hear the coach's thoughts in the pre-match conference, and we'll see the performance against Spurs. And that will tell us all we need to know about the attitude of these players with the coach. Honestly, that's just my 2 cents. What else? Man United are still shit. Spurs are still shit. We're gunning for top 4. Liverpool are going to bottle the league. I'm kidding. That might not happen. With Arsenal being the ones chasing them anyways. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. You guys let me know your thoughts on the comment sections below. What do you think of the training pitch predicament? What do you think of the stadium? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the 2 players that were signed? Let me know in the comment section below. Please, if you're new, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Keep it in.